Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a he.
I'm a starfish. You and I are sick.
You walked into a lion's den.
You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, human carpaccio.
When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Walked into a lion's den.
Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah, call me my dude. That's it. You sound like the dumbest robot made.
I am the dumbest robot.
Thank you for listening to Splittin Hairs. On this podcast, you're gonna learn about yourself. I'm Ashlynn Salzano.
My name is Chris Metcalfe.
We're all lizard people anyway.
People who have never tried any drugs, it's like, a part of me is like,
Jealous?
no, I'm like, how much could you like know about yourself? You know what I mean? Like you've never, I don't know. Like there's something about psychologically pushing yourself. I'm not saying you got to like push yourself to the edge, but like if all you've ever had is just like a little bit of wine, I like kind of don't really trust you.
Here's the thing. If you've never done drugs, or like if you're like, oh, I don't really drink, I don't do drugs, I don't none of that, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what are the demons that lay inside you?
It's one of two things. You either have like a family history and you're just trying not to open that door for yourself, because I hear that a lot. Or like
people's family or addicted stuff.
Yeah, there's like maybe their parents, or there's like a history of addiction like in their family. So they're just like, I have some friends who are just like, I don't even open that fucking door. But then, or the other one is just, I'm like, there's something up with you. There's something up with a person like that.
I'm just like, you don't like to get blacked out. Like you can't trust yourself. I'm like, who are you when you're blacked out? That's who you really are.
Right, but like I know a guy, I won't say his name, but like I lived with him freshman year in college, and like me and him we just got randomly put together, and he would talk like this, and he was kind of like do you remember Win Ben Stein's Money? Remember from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Bueller.
Yeah, I didn't really like that movie.
Well, whatever. The teacher
I've seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the teacher who's like Bueller, Ben Stein, he was like that. And like he would like on a Friday, Saturday night, he would be like, can you get me beers? And I would like get him beer because like I would like get all the booze for everybody. But anyway, he would like keep like baseball stats.
You want to fix your seat? Oh. You're all crooked. You're like...
I didn't even realize.
That, like, I don't know if your body was positioned. I was like, why is he like that? And then I saw your chair on the other side. I was like, what is he doing? I'm like, that's got to be uncomfortable at a certain point, sitting on something like that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
But what were you saying?
Oh, yeah. So, but like, whatever. So he was just like a very, like, he was not like a big party or anything. Mm-hmm. And I would always be like, hey, man, like, hey, Vince, you want to smoke some weed? And he'd be like, I don't do that, Chris. Like, he would always like, he was like creepy but funny. And he would keep baseball stats. He knew like every stats about the Yankees. It was like a little OCD. But anyway, I remember I talked to him like a few years after he graduated college, and we were like catching up. And he was like, oh, I did something that you'd like to know about. And I was like, what? He goes, I did acid. And I was like, what? I was like, Vince, you did fucking acid? And he was like, several times. It was quite enjoyable. And like, he does acid.
Was your roommate a Roomba? Like, why is he talking like that?
That's how he talked. That's how he talked.
Was he a fucking Roomba? Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? I did something you would like. It was like, what are you trying to impress me? Like, I'm not your daddy.
Oh, you wouldn't like him.
Yeah, no. I don't like most people. Do you think, though, like, that is a thing? Like, if your parents have addiction, like, maybe you shouldn't fuck with stuff, too?
Oh, I think that's like pretty common knowledge. I don't know if that's like a scientific fact, but I mean, I think people far and wide pretty much, it's like known.
I know people whose parents have been addicts, and
yeah, it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's very common.
Well, you get the addict gene.
Right, which I think that's the part that's debatable. Like people saying like there's an addict gene. I don't even know how all that shit works, but
well, I mean, if you think that is a hard proof, then it has to be an addict gene. It has to be a gene, because what else would it be?
I don't know. I'm not I don't know. I've literally done no research about it. I just know that when it comes to addiction, that is a very common thing. That it's a lot of times there's like an addiction within the family. I just don't know if it's like a gene.
Yeah.
Could be I don't know what the fuck science terms it is. It's just they got the fun gene in them, and they don't know when to turn it down.
They got the party gene.
Yeah, they don't know when to turn that shit down, dude. Yeah, they don't know when to turn. I just got back. Well, it's been a while since we recorded, but I just got back from Europe, and they don't know when to turn it down in Berlin. Actually, some people do know when to turn down. We went to some clubs, and you would look at somebody and be like, "Yo, you're fucked up right now," and they're like, "I'm sober." You're like, "How are you here?"
You're like, "What are you on? Can I have some?" They're like, "I'm on life.
I'm on life."
Yeah.
They're so free and open in Berlin. I just feel like they're just like we're making up for our dark past by being very progressive and open. Yeah. At least that's what Berlin's like. It just like goes off there.
Well, it feels like they're extremists, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're going to be like open, they're like extremely open, right? If they're going to be dictators, they're extremely dictators, right? They're like, if we're going to be murderers, we're going to murder everyone.
Yeah.
But now we're choosing to party, so we're going to party all night long.
Now we're going the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Instead of forcing people into clubs, now we're letting people come into the club anytime between midnight on Friday and Monday afternoons.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're open that entire time. Like you could just like go to the fucking club on like Sunday at noon.
America would be a mess if we did that. We don't know how to turn it down.
No.
But do you think we don't know how to turn it down because we don't have that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because it is like restricted, we're like, we want to go all in.
Yes.
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like,
for sure.
Like, I wonder if we did open at Sunday, like 12 p.m. and like people would it'd be like whatever it is there. Like, oh, this is normal.
Right. It would be normalized. Yeah. If tomorrow they started doing that.
I don't know if America could do anything normal, you know?
I mean, define normal. I would say probably Berlin is the abnormal one. Like, I think more places in the world don't have clubs that are open for 72 plus hours. I think that's fairly unique.
But but here's the thing. If we brought that to New York, our economy would be shit. Everybody would just be in the club all day. People will be poor.
Yeah. I mean,
people will be homeless.
There are options that aren't too far off from that, though.
Yeah, but if we made, like, if it was a thing, like, yeah, come in. I mean, as working as a bartender, like, when it's like 5 a.m. and people are like, no, we still want to go. It's like, but you shouldn't. Like, you really shouldn't because you're wasted and, like, you have money problems. You also have wife problems. You know, you've been here long enough to tell me. Go home.
Well, it's weird there. Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if it was open to us, we'd like be over it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel like knowing America, we'd just be. Everyone would have.
Well, because if they did
everyone
that
would be
in
club
America,
addicts.
because if they did it in America, people would be like puking all over the place and shit. Like
Yeah.
these places, like they don't let you in. Like they are like kind of oddly strict. Like
Okay.
you'll wait on a line for like 3 fucking hours to get to the door and be like, "You're not cool right now. Come back later." And you just waited online and you didn't get in.
What do you mean you're not cool right now?
Like if they think you're a little too fucked up, if they get in the vibe that you're like maybe gonna be trouble or you're like a little too hyped up, they're gonna be like, "You're not coming in."
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
For how
That's
open
how
they
you-
are. They're serious though.
That's how you filter, though. That's how you like, because like now you've got your chances of as a security guard, as a club, like getting into some shit by saying no to people that you're like, I sense that you're not in a good place.
Right.
Please go. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Right.
the security guards are like witches. They're like, hey, your aura is off. You know, Kate
Yeah.
is a security guard. Your aura is not fierce.
It's that part of Kate, but inside of like a giant Slovakian bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a guy who's got like 6 earrings and like just a line, just a line down the beard goatee line.
Because like think about all the times you've seen someone walk into a bar and you're like, I got that feeling from you, but I'm gonna, you know, when you're not
But he's
supposed
with
to
mad bitches.
or he's, you know, this thing is like, we're here to make money. Like you got to make the bar money.
Right.
So like, don't reject a customer for no reason.
Well, these places are so big, they don't even have to worry about that.
Right.
And it's so ingratiated in the culture.
Which
like,
is good.
It's not just like one club that's like that. This has been going on in Berlin since like the 90s, I
Yeah.
guess. So like, I think for some people, they're just like people will like go to bed. They'll like some people don't even go out until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you're just like gonna start your night there with a few beers, and then just like go to the club, and just like go out. Now, obviously, there's like a big tourists. It is like a bit of like a tourist thing when you go.
Pool.
Yeah, it's like going to like I had never been to Oktoberfest in Germany, but apparently Oktoberfest is like no local Munich person is going to Oktoberfest.
I mean, it's kind of like Times Square, you know?
Right.
It's like a tourist pool. Like anybody from there is like, that's what you ignore.
Right.
Like that's what you avoid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that's going to be the worst time. Like I hate going to 42nd Street like when the ice skating rink in Bryant Park is open. It's a fucking disaster.
Ugh.
The winter and 42nd Street is disgusting.
It's fucking mortifying.
Yeah.
It's mortifying.
But did you party? Like, tell me, did you party? Did you party hard?
I didn't.
You know,
party.
you talked all this big talk on the last episode. You're like, I'm going to Europe, and I will come back with stories.
Well, first
I'd be a new man.
First of all, I came back with a Amsterdam haircut,
which looks good on you.
Thanks.
Me and Sean talked about it.
Yeah,
behind your back.
Yeah, Sean was pissed off about my haircut. He was so mad.
Why?
Because he got a haircut right before I got there, and then I got my haircut, and when he saw it, he goes, "Fuck, that's the one I wanted."
Well, he told me, he was like, I was like, Chris's haircut looks so good, you know? Like, I think I said something like, thank you for making him get a haircut. He was like, it was hard to get him to like admit he needed a haircut. I'm like, it's hard to get Chris to admit anything. It's really pulling teeth there.
Sean was a piece of work on this trip. I'll tell you something.
Of course he was.
Yeah. I tried so hard to be an ally. I was trying so hard, I started like becoming homophobic by the end. I think I like definitely pushed my like the gay thresholds for me.
Like how cool you are with gay.
And how deep into how deep I can traverse down into the gay hole. Like there's a certain level where you're like, you're hitting the danger zone. Like you're reaching the core.
Well, tell people what was going on in these bars.
So for people listening who don't know, like I've been to plenty of gay bars here in New York, right? Like I haven't been to like the hardcore clubs, but they've gotten rowdy.
You live a very gay life in New York, I would say, a very gay friendly life. Right. I would say, like you're like, oh, I'm going to a gay bar with Sean, like,
right,
yeah,
and so, but like Europe's a whole different like thing, right? So like I think we went into like one little gay cocktail bar in Amsterdam. Fine, whatever, right? And similar to your point earlier about the weed, by the way, most people from Amsterdam don't even smoke fucking weed. It's everybody else visiting. Yeah, like. But here they're like, we're opening up a dispensary. Like, it's fucking dumb. So we go there. Then we're in Barcelona. Now, here's the thing. I visited Sean and at the end of a 6-week gay sabbatical that he was having. Like, I don't want to.
Gay midlife crisis sabbatical.
Yeah. And I don't want to like fucking start telling his whatevers, but.
No, he was just getting it in.
But like in a way that for any straight listeners, like I don't even think you guys are comprehending. Like orgies, 5+ or more people fucking is normal. Yeah. That's like a night.
I think that's gay men life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like supercharged over there.
I don't know. I've heard some gay men stories here.
Sean told me, he was like, New York is not a gay mecca. He was like, Europe and Barcelona are. Like, this is Sean saying this.
This is from Sean's mouth.
Yes.
That was full of semen. No.
Just coming out of every hole.
Yeah.
Because he's told me like some wild shit that he's done here, but it paled in comparison to like what was going on there.
Right.
So the first, like when we get to Barcelona, he's like, do you want to go to the beach? And I'm like, yeah, sure. We get there, gay nude beach.
Right.
So like.
You're like, I was thinking sand and ocean and not balls and dick.
Balls and dicks,
yeah.
right. But here's what was funny about it. I've never been to the beach, and there's like every move I make, there's like 1,000 eyes being like, ooh, what's he doing? What's he doing over there?
Well, welcome to being a woman.
It was wild.
It was terrifying, wasn't it?
Oh, it was just like, and then I got up to go because it's like in the mid 70s, low 70s when we were there. Mm-hmm. So like it's not like a hot beach day, but it's still a nice beach day.
Yeah.
So
get in the water.
So yeah, so most of the time Sean and I were just like laying on the towels, chilling. There's like a bar nearby. I got a drink, and
so you and Sean are there, wieners out.
No,
together.
he had a Speedo on, and I had board shorts on.
I thought you were both. All right. So when you texted me this, when you were like,
you thought we're both naked, like dicks out.
Well, I thought you both were wieners out the whole time. And what's funny is that, like, I'm like, man, boys, you know? I'm like, I don't know if I could go to a nude beach with my sister, but I'm like, I don't know. Chris and Sean are pretty close.
Like I've gotten dressed in front of Sean, but that's like locker room shit. But I'm not like lounging with my balls like facing like we're like lounging about in the bar in the Catalonian sun. But yeah, so they fucking and so like we're just laying and chilling, and not everybody's naked either. Like the because it's again, this isn't America. It's not like new beach, everyone gets naked. There's like it's and where we
I don't know how to behave in places.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so restrained.
By the way, Sean told me he was telling me a story about this. He goes, "You think this beach is bad? There's this other beach I go to that's further down where all the gays like chill on the beach, and then there's like these like this tree line where all these like woods, these like jungly woods are, and they all go in there and like fuck."
It's like what is Sean's bottom, right? Like
Sean doesn't bottom in these things. I asked him that.
I wasn't. That's not what I was saying. But
that was a new aspect that I learned.
Okay.
He goes, ew, I would never bottom at something like that. I only top at those things.
Well, we love someone that's, looking out for themselves. But that wasn't my question. I'm glad you and Sean had that conversation. I was just meaning because every time you're like, well, Sean, what do you, he's like, this is nothing, right? Like every time you're like 6 dicks at a bar out. He's like, this is nothing. Wait until we go over here.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, what is Sean's like darkest, like deepest hole? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it just keeps feeling like what you were saying, like with the gay stuff, you were saying, you think you've like gone to the bottom and then it's just more.
There's more, the layer.
Yeah. So go ahead. What were you saying?
So we're like laying there and chilling, and I was like, should we go jump in the water? Because I'm also scared to go by myself, because between me and the water is like a half a football field of just mostly men.
You were a woman for a day.
I was a woman for half this trip.
We'll talk about how you felt, but go ahead.
So where he's like, yeah, let's go. So we like start walking down, and it's like, it felt like I was like walking down the red carpet. Like everyone's like looking. There was like 2 guys like making out, and then they like looked up and they're like, like doing like shit like that. And so like Sean and I are just like talking by the water, and he's like, everyone's so confused about this right now. He's like, we're putting out a lot of weird signals. And I was like, what? And he just like jumped in the water. I was like, what? You're leaving me here? I'm going to get in the water. Because Ashlynn, I'm telling you, it's like
you're like,
hyenas.
what signals? You're like, what am I doing?
And to be clear, like, I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, I'm so hot or anything. Every guy's looking at every guy. Any guy that gets up, it's like, ooh, what's he doing? Is that a move? Is that a signal?
Yeah.
Is that are they putting out a vibe? Like, this one guy was like walking down the water and like kind of like playing with the water and like looking at me, and there's no one else around. It's me. And he's like looking at me, and he just like was like, and just like dove in, and Sean was like, he gave you the okay. And I was like, for what? I mean, I know for what, but like, I'm not, like, it's insane. It's insane.
You're like, the okay, I wasn't asking for anything. What, the okay to what?
I think and to your point, like, oh, you felt like a woman. I definitely did, but unless a woman went to a beach full of like horny bachelor guys, that had no problem. Because, like, when you go to a beach, there's, like, a mixture of people. There's
Chris,
women and men.
You think that doesn't that happens. That's why we travel in packs. You know, you wanted to travel in packs with Sean. I bet you were like, want to go to the bathroom together? That's why we go to the bathroom together. Because it's a pack of fucking hyenas every fucking turn. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Fight for us, okay?
I'm not fighting.
I'm not fighting. But tell people about the bar.
So, all right. So, whatever. We sporadically went to some bars, but then we went to this one where, like,
COVID.
COVID.
You can't play like that. You can't play.
I've been tested and vaccinated.
For STDs?
Yeah. Well, there was like a two-part crescendo where, like, I had finally, like, hit my limit. Because, like, we went to this one bar, and we went to this one bar, and he's like, let's just stop in this one bar, in this gay bar. Now, I got to a point where, like, I didn't say anything to him at this point that I was, like, kind of tired of going to the gay bars all the time. So, like, he was like, let's stop in here for, like, one. And I think he could tell that I was, like, a little over it. And then we sit down at this bar, and it's just, like, manly men playing pool at this bar. And there's two TVs, like, literally right next to each other. And I look up, and there's just hardcore gay muscle men fucking. Like, hardcore shit. And Sean, like, looks at me, and he's like, whoops. And I was like, ah. But right next to the other TV, I started immediately dying because it's 2016 or 15's 3D animated Chicken Little playing right next to it.
3D animated.
Yeah,
so everything's
like a
coming.
children's.
Everything's coming at you.
It is a huge hit here in Germany. Chicken Little, we love it. It is our Toy Story.
But 3D.
Yeah.
Everything's coming. You know, everything's coming at you.
It's all coming at you.
Yeah.
So, but even the dichotomy of the place, because when I saw that, then I realized, like, there's all these, like, you know, they're, like, manly, kind of old school looking gay dudes. Mm-hmm. But, like, playing pool in this, like, darkish bar, but then, like, Britney Spears is playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the dichotomy of all
That's gay heaven.
So finally we, like, yeah. So finally we would leave, and I'm just like, I like, whatever. We got, like, a thing, because I was like, Sean, I'm, like, gay barred out. I'm done. Like, that wasn't even the craziest thing I've ever seen, but I'm just on overload. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? Oh, that was the other thing. We also did go to another bar where a guy wanted to finger my butthole. This old guy. By the way, this was a bar. The woman told me, I was talking to the owner. She's like this, like, looked like she lived in, like, she's like a German like, bull lady, like a strong, smokes cigarettes. And, like, she was like, there was a few women in the bar, and she was like, this is the only nights that we let women into the bar. It's Thursday night. It's called round table night. The rest of the nights, women are not allowed in here because the boys cannot feel free. Yeah.
The boys cannot feel free.
Meanwhile, most people are, like, dressed. There's, like, a few people who have, like, you know, mesh shirts on and stuff. Then there's this, like, one wasted old guy just wearing, like, blue silver thong. And he comes up to me, and he's just like...
But the boys do not feel free.
Right.
Yeah. They don't feel free.
Larry, or whoever the fuck this guy is feeling pretty free.
Mighty free to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mighty free to me.
Well, yeah, because he was like, you're very cute. Well, you're American, you know, because he heard Sean and I speaking English. He's like, are you friends? I was like, we're brothers. And he's like, brothers. I like you. And he, like, puts his arm around me. He's like, can I play with your butthole? And I was like, no, thanks. I'm good, dude. I don't even want this guy touching me. And Sean starts laughing. Here's the thing. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm going to throw you under the bus on this one. That night, we went back, and I was like, because a couple times we split up, and I was like, you go do your thing. Go be wild. He went out. I stayed in the hotel that night. He came back way later, and he told me, like, the next day. I was like, how was the rest of last night? He was like, well, I let that guy finger my butthole at the bar. Ashlynn, this guy was so gross. This guy was so disgusting.
But you know what it was? It was that he chose you over Sean.
And Sean's like, I know he's gonna finger me. I'm gonna let him finger my butthole. Yeah.
No, I'm the good looking one. I'm smart.
Yeah.
You finger my butthole.
Yeah. He's like, whatever.
He's like, fuck. Chris got the haircut, and now the guy wants to play with his butthole. Fuck. I'm gonna have my butthole fucked by this guy.
Oh, but then, like the last night we were there, the very last night we were there, I was like, I had a car picking me up at 4 a.m. It's like 2 a.m. and we're going to this place called Frickin' 3000 in Berlin.
Frickin' 3000.
Like as you FRIC, like the way a German would spell it. You know
like
what
a 12-year-old on AIM.
Yeah. So we go in, and Sean prepped me. He's like, look, he's like, I know you're on Gay Bar Overload, but he's like, I went here last night and I just feel, you know how you were like, where's the bottom of the hole? I think I saw pretty close to the bottom because Sean was like, you just need to see this. Like, he looked at me and was like, I know you're on Gay Bar Overload, but you need to see this. Like, it's a thing. And he's like, I want you to see what I see. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And I was like, fine.
For the story, I'll go.
So we go to this. It looks like nothing. It's like a rusty door, like a green door with a camera outside of it, and this German, like tall biker looking, but kind of gay dude opens up. He's like, "Oh, could you say all COVID cards and like whatever does the shit." We go in, tiny little bar, packed out, most like 90% guys. Women or transsexual women, and no one has transgendered women. What over there, by the way, they don't get whatever. Everyone's fucking no one's even doing that shit over there where they're like, oh, you mispronounced me. They're just like, oh, hello, let me suck your nipples. Like they're just, no one's even doing that shit. Yeah. So, but like no one's got shirts on. Like, and it's weird when they don't all have shirts on because not everyone's hot. So there'll be like a guy that just like a guy who like has a body who like works in like a bank from 9 to 5 and like eats McDonald's a couple days a week. Like, he's not in good shape. Like, it's just a guy who wears jeans and a polo. Right. And now he's just walking. He's like, well, I'm gay now. And like takes their shirt off. And then they're just hanging out. So it's not even
like the gays over here. It's a whole to do. It's a 6-pack, 8-pack,
right?
Oil, baby oil, booty shorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like the hot ones, the ones that are in shape, they're like the type that are like in shape because they like grew up poor in the city or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they're like malnutritioned hot. Right. It's like Sean actually complained about that.
About them being.
He was like, there's no just like ripped guys here. He's like, they're all like cigarette and salad hot.
Yeah. Cigarette and salad hot. It's like they still live in those days where like it's like old school where if you were rich, you're fat.
Yeah.
And if you are poor, you're thin. Like,
kind of.
Well, over here it's like.
And people just in general in Europe are just like generally in better shape and better looking than us.
Yeah,
like,
we're fat.
Their ugliest person is still like hotter than like our like medium person. Yeah. You know what I mean? But anyway, so like whatever. We're like going through this bar, and at first I'm like, this is not. I've seen this shit. Who
like,
cares?
Gay overload. Like who cares?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Then we go to the back, and there's like these stairs that wind down, and these look like the type of stairs that like we're not supposed to be going down. Like they look like stairs that like only the staff goes down.
Right.
We go down these windy stairs into this like basement, and there's like a TV on the right playing like.
What does Sean say to you before you go to the back? Like
downstairs?
Is he like just follow me?
Just chilling. Yeah. He's just like follow me, and we're just like going.
So he's like follow me. He doesn't say anything.
And he starts taking his coat off, like so now because a part of me thinking like, oh, we're gonna like fucking drop our jackets off or something.
Right. Oh, we're going to coat check.
Right. We go downstairs, and there's like there's like a basement, and there's this guy who looks like he doesn't belong there. He looks like he has like a wife and kids, and they don't know that he's here. And he's sitting. The floor is black, the walls are black, and there's like a corridor, and to the right is a TV playing a trans porn.
Okay.
And this one guy is just sitting there watching it. And then there's like some guys kind of like going up and down the stairs and going down that corridor. Yeah. And Sean's like, let's leave our coats here. And like pulls back this tarp. He's like, when I was here, this is where these guys told me to keep my coats, and we have to pay for coat check. Because wait, by the way, do you know that gay bars have lockers in them?
No.
Ashlynn, here in New York too. Like, these gay bars get wild, so instead of coat check, you pay like $5, you get a key, and there's a locker so you can like put all your shit in the fucking locker.
Like your clothes?
Your clothes,
so
your personal belongings,
okay.
Like if you have whatever. Lockers.
Not all gay bars.
The hardcore ones.
Yeah. The ones where you're gonna get butt fucked.
They're called cruising bars, I think.
That's cruising?
Yeah.
That's cruising? That's fucking full speed to me. Yeah. Fucking cruising. But go ahead.
So Sean's like, I'm like, I'm gonna keep my jacket. I keep my jacket.
Right.
So Sean's like walking down the corridor, and he's like, just whatever. He's like, just follow me, or you could just walk around. And it is literally, when I say it's a labyrinth, it's like it's a maze. Like, you don't know. There's enough light where you can see like, okay, I can turn here, but there's just like a turn here and a turn there.
It's like a haunted house.
Right.
It's
and then not everywhere leads everywhere. Some would just be like a little room, a little nook, a little cove. There was like one where it was like, it wasn't a bed, but it was like a place for people to lay on.
It's like Fright Fest in New Jersey and Six Flags.
But
like Halloween Horror Night.
Yeah. But like meets like drugged out, hardcore, anonymous gay fucking. Like there was like one spot where it was like, I was like, oh, there's a woman having sex. And I was like, that woman has a penis. And those guys are coming all over them. Like you just like go, and then it's just like happening, and no one's got. People are like naked and shit. I finished my drink. I have my jacket on, completely zipped up, in my hands in my pockets.
You're like, ain't nothing touching nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. So, and like there was one hallway that we turned down, and there's just like holes in the walls, so you could just like pull your dick out and just be like, let's see what happens. Doesn't matter.
Did you do it?
No. Yeah, I got my hands in my pockets, but I just got
But your dick in a hole.
Got a mask and my hood on, but then my dick in a hole, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yo, I was like, we did like one lap, and I was like, okay, Sean, I'm done. He was like, all right, let's go. Oh, that was another thing. I go, at one point, I don't know what, I think we were like, at one point, we were about to leave, and then all these, because that's the other thing. I think what happens is like everyone's getting loose upstairs, and then when like a couple people start feeling frisky, they'll like go downstairs, and then everybody else is like, let's go downstairs and see what they're doing.
Right.
And then when they go downstairs, then maybe there's like a vibe, and then maybe it's like,
maybe they join.
I'll include my penis, or I won't. So like, I think like something started to happen. So then Sean was like, well, do you want to go see what's happening? I was like, all right. I was like, I wanted to like smoke.
Yeah.
I was like, had like rollies on me, and I was like, do you think they'll let me smoke down here? He was like, they don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I don't know.
You gotta ask, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, we pretty much just left, and I was like, all right, that was the dark. That was the lowest I could.
It was like the Rat Kings of dick, right? Where it was just like all the dicks were intertwined.
It was just so like, it was promiscuous and dark. I don't mean like, it was kind of dark. It was promiscuous and dark in a way that like, I didn't even know that I could feel.
Right.
If that makes sense. And I went to a concentration camp when I was in Germany. Like we saw Dasha, or like whatever the fuck it was called. But like I don't think I've ever had an experience like that where I felt that uncomfortable. And I think that was the point where I was like joking earlier, where I was like, I think I'm getting homophobic right now.
Right.
I was like, I think I'm past being an ally now.
I think we've solved how to make men be more sensitive to what women feel. I think every straight man in America needs to go on a Europe trip with Sean and have Sean facilitate all of it and be like, so that men know what women feel like.
I don't know how much time we have to get into this discussion, because I think that's an interesting discussion to have, though, because I think there are some, I think on on like a zoomed out scale, like yes, like the being observed, being watched, being like prayed at, like looked at, and like
let me put a finger in your butthole.
But like the aggression that was going on, I have never seen to the level of which I've seen at a straight bar.
Maybe because you're not watching, maybe because you're not aware, but like, I mean, didn't you hear Christiana's like didn't you?
I mean, she sounds like the Predator,
but not in that.
I'm joking,
not in
Christiana,
that in that text message where she's like, "How are you doing?" He's like, I like your breast. Like, I want to, like, that's how, like,
right. But here's what I think, and I this is off topic, but here's what's funny: if that guy who wrote that to her, or any guy who goes into like any mode, like saying that shit to women, they probably think that they're so like, oh, I'm good at fucking, I like care about shit. They don't know nothing until they've seen what I saw. Like, right. You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's gay men life though. If straight men think they fuck, they haven't met gay men.
They haven't met these gay men.
Well, they haven't heard their stories. Like, right. And it doesn't matter. It's like you're the most promiscuous male I know, like straight male.
Right.
You don't even touch what I've heard moderate gay men do. Like moderate gay men. You don't even touch it. You don't even.
I know.
You don't even touch it.
I know.
And like, it's just like funny because like you know, like I mean, I'm not trying to put your business out there, but you are.
Yeah,
promiscuous.
Yeah.
And you are the most male promiscuous I've ever met.
Right. But it's a completely different class. It's like I'm like a slow pitch beer softball league, and Sean's in the majors.
You're still in high school.
Yeah.
And Sean is playing for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Every gay man is playing for the Yankees.
Yeah.
But I think like you can probably like split hairs on the aggressiveness, right? But that's how most women feel. Like that, it happens all the time.
If we're talking about the feeling, absolutely.
But I'm saying Sean should facilitate that. We should hire Sean. That's real. That's like real United Nations problems. And Sean should just take these straight men and take them around.
Take them to frickin' 3,000.
All the gay bars, though, all of them. I want. And this sounds very sad, but I want. So it's a gay man to tell a straight guy, "Can I put my finger in your bowl?" Like, I want that.
Right. And then a guy to be like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here." Because everybody, especially if you're over there, if you start throwing that shit, they will beat the fuck out of you.
What did you say?
Yeah, they will fuck you up.
Then the true OG Germans come out of that.
Yeah.
I went to a foreign place, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, you were. Yeah, I went to Boston.
Hell yeah, dude.
Foreign as fuck.
Yeah.
I went to Boston though, and I saw like the Church of Scientology.
Really?
Yeah. You haven't seen it?
I've seen churches of Scientology, but I don't know if I've seen the one in Boston.
It's fucking
beautiful
to the nines.
I saw the one in Beverly Hills, and that one was insane.
But this is in the middle of Boston, where like everything is like
Catholic,
but it's also like, you know, they keep things like, I don't know if you know this, but like Boston does this thing where they have a cap on like how tall you can build things.
Oh yeah,
because they want to keep things like the old school things. They want to still keep them like preserved and that they matter, unlike New York City. So, right. But like to see this in the middle of Boston, like I was like, holy shit. And like the mirrors are like fucking beautiful, like the statues. And then they have this big ass fucking lap pool, okay? That's a fountain. Have you not seen it?
No.
It's fucking huge. It's like a whole fucking block.
Or maybe I've seen it and I didn't know that I was looking at it, but yeah. I don't know. It's in the city. It's just like in the center of the city.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I haven't been in Boston. Like I go to like Cambridge, like those areas outside of it sometimes, like when I'm up there. But
do you know the Prudential building?
Yeah.
Kate wouldn't stop talking about it. She's like, that's the Prudential building. Blah, blah, blah. Then again, that's the, and I was like, Kate, like I went to high school near the Empire State Building. All right. Maybe a little small town girl from Millville, Massachusetts thinks that's the Prudential building. It's fucking huge.
There's Nick Wozney's Chowder Hut.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? I'm Nick.
But I was like, and then like I was also like, she was like, but it's cool, right? I was like, yeah, but babe, I don't care about buildings. Like I come from like the city of buildings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that is the least thing I care about.
Right.
You know, I'm like, I will never bring anyone to New York and be like, look at these buildings. You know, like.
Yeah, there is.
But it's like.
But
I'm
not in Boston.
I'm the wrong one. She's not wrong. I am. You know what I mean? Because I'm like so.
Well, it's also funny too because you are into certain architecture because you're just talking about how wild the Scientology building was, but the Prudential building, you're just like, it's just like a building. It's like not like a art. It's not a piece of art.
But it's got like it's kind of like skyscrapery there.
Right.
You
it's
know
our
what I
one
mean?
skyscraper.
Yeah,
It's the one big one we got. You see it?
The Prudential building.
The Prudential.
If I hear that, I heard that Prudential building in my nightmares.
I don't even know what is that. They're not a bank. What is Prudential?
I think there was a mall
My dad
in there.
used to work for them, I think. What's that?
I think there was a mall near there.
Prudential. The mall.
The mall is near us.
The Mall of Prudential.
That's their model. Kate. She's fucking dead. Well, whatever. Yeah.
Yo, wait. Oh, what was this? Oh, yeah. You know, it would be a real trash like building to go visit. Did you ever hear of Mall of America?
The one in Jersey?
No, it's the biggest mall in the United States. I think it's in like Michigan or something like that.
What's the one in Jersey? The mall, American Dream Mall?
Yeah, something like that.
That it's got like the fucking Nickelodeon water park or something like that.
Ew.
Yeah, it's an indoor water park. They got like they're doing skiing.
Indoor
too.
skiing?
Yeah.
I heard they shut that down. Yo, malls are dead. Malls are dead. Who the fuck is this like, yeah, let's go to the mall? Like
to a water park in the mall.
Ugh. I mean, I guess it's like for like touristy shit. I don't know.
I guess it's a one-stop shop.
There's always going to be tacky people. I mean, these are probably the same people that like love going on cruises and shit.
Yeah.
You're just like, I want to be on a cruise ship.
And it's like, have you ever seen the Titanic?
Yo.
You know?
I found out, some people can like purchase like a room on a ship, like the same way you can like buy a house.
Yes.
That's disturbing.
Yes. Like the penthouses, right?
I don't even think they have to be the penthouses.
I saw one, like a penthouse for like $12 million on a cruise ship.
Oh, I met an old couple on like the 2 cruises I ever went on, and they were like, yeah, we were on this ship for 6 months out of the year.
Yeah, we owned the one in the basement.
Yeah, literally, like they were like a few down from us. We were just like in the normal people. Yeah, with Jack at the bottom.
Yeah.
Having fun with accordions and sleeping on hay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just drinking and smoking all night, gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking weird. I don't even want to go on cruises. But I was like in Boston. I was like, just show me the cool spots. You know what I mean? Don't show me like buildings. Out of all people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Read the room, Kate.
Yeah, show me some like fun racist people or something like that.
Yeah. Where's Mark Wahlberg's people? Right?
Yeah,
Take me to Mark Wahlberg's house, you know? Fuck. I also partied really hard last weekend.
Really?
Yeah. It was my friend Denise's birthday. And we went out to Jersey and we had dinner. We had a couple of shots. And then we went to this like rooftop in Jersey, in Hoboken. And that's the last thing I remember.
Oh, it was like that.
Is that we went to a rooftop in Jersey, in Hoboken. That is the last thing I remember.
Why did you guys go out to Jersey?
Because it was Saturday night. Everything was booked. Everything was like, some places didn't take reservations. And then they were like, oh, first come, first serve. And I was like, okay, well, what do you think your wait is? And they're like, well, if you come at 7, we could probably sit you at 8:30. And then my boy, he's a manager at this restaurant, at this dope ass Mexican restaurant, and we just wanted like nice cocktails. We thought, let me tell you something. It was for my friend Denise's birthday, right? We went out Saturday. We had plans Saturday and Sunday. Okay, we went out Saturday night. We were like, we'll have dinner. We'll have some nice drinks. We'll go home. We'll go hiking the next day. Hiking.
Trying to get your vengeance back on those trails.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just trying to make everyone go through it. Everyone's got to suffer what I suffered. So that was our plan. We'll go hiking. We'll have lunch by Cold Spring. Cold Spring was having like an Oktoberfest. We'll go have some Oktoberfest beer, sausages, whatever, right?
Sausages.
The girls love sausages.
It's the latest, love it.
I'm the only one that likes clams, right? So we go out Saturday. My boy hooks us up. He's a fucking great manager. He works at Orale in Hoboken, and great manager. I mean, we get there, our table's set, we're all drinking. They're bringing us like appetizers, like, you know, on the house, you know, like it's just, it was just like perfect service, right? Yeah. So my friend and the server are flirting, right? So it's already getting to like that point of the night, right? And then, you know, things are happening. We're like, let's go out and just like have a good time. Let's go to a rooftop. We go to the rooftop. I buy one round of shots. That's all I remember. And then I drink a Captain and Coke.
Yo, and you get after it. You get so after it. You like, majority of the time we hang out, you don't have like even like, so I'll like be sipping on something sometimes. You have nothing, and then it's like, it's a celebration, bitches, and you just go bananas.
Yeah.
Sorry, yo. The more you're saying, you're like, so then we had all these cocktails, and then we got there, so then I got a round of shots, and then I had my Captain and Coke. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ.
I do. It's birthdays for me.
Right.
But like, I gotta be happy about your birthday. I've gone out before for friend's birthday. I don't drink like that. Like, right. This is like one of my best friends. I mean, you know Denise. Yeah. So like, it's my birthday too. Like, I told Kate the night before, I was like, we're driving to Hoboken, you're the designated driver. I'm like, I'm getting fucked up. Like, I knew it. Like, I was just like, yo, that's my mans. We getting fucking. Yeah. We going out. And so we go out, and that's all I remember, Captain and Coke. And then I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, all right. I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, yo, I'm like waking up. I'm like, yo, I think someone drugged me. I told Kay, I was like, yo, I think someone drugged me. I don't remember anything. I don't remember a shit. Like, people are telling me things. I'm like, don't remember. Like, just yesterday, Dante was like, yeah, you guys FaceTimed me. I was like, we FaceTimed you? Like, he looked at me like I had 3 heads. He was like, yeah. Like, so I wake up and I'm like, yo, I think someone drugged me, man. Kate goes, yeah. You drugged yourself. Yeah. You took an edible.
Shut up. Like, after you had been drinking and shit?
Like, in the middle of the bar. Apparently, like, my cousin Logan had edibles, and he gave me one, and I took it.
Yo, that's the fucking sign of death right there. That's fucking put the pennies over your eyes. You're fucking going into the other side. Yo.
See you later. But it's just funny. It's like, you ever been so fucked up you drug yourself? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, I woke up like someone drugged me, like, for sure.
Yeah,
and Kate's like, imagine it from Kate's point of view too. She's like, you fucking idiot. Like, yeah, you did.
What a woman thing to say.
Yeah.
Wake up, someone drugged me.
I mean, I don't say that very often. That's not like a saying of mine. I don't go out and I'm like, someone drugged me. But I was fucked up. At one point, I remember this. I go up to the bar. I'm like, can I close out my check? And they're like, this is the last thing I remember from like leaving the bar. I'm like, can I close out my check? And the bartenders are like, you're already closed out. And I go, oh. And then I'm like, I took care of you guys. They're like, yeah.
A lot. I'm so much that I'm uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
I'm like, I'm out. I left. I was like, I'm out.
I don't blame you.
Like, but what was crazy was that like my credit card was in the spot that I put it in. Like, it wasn't like just in my wallet. Like, I have like certain spots that I put things in, It was exactly in that spot.
Well, it's still you. You just.
But that's not safe. That's not. I rather be but I rather be someone who's just like, Ashlyn's wasted. We gotta go home. Not like Ashlyn's wasted and also making decisions. And then like very clearly, no one thinks it's a problem.
Well, you had it together.
But that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah,
that's scary.
I mean, I've definitely had those nights where I woke up the next day and I was like, I don't know how I got here.
Right.
I start trying to figure out what the fuck I did the night before, and people start telling you like, oh, that was so funny when you did this and when you said that, and some of it's not even like bad.
Yeah.
But you're just like, the worst was one time one of my ex-girlfriends. Well, long story, but whatever. Like, this girl I was like hooking up with for a while. We had this like night. We like got like a hotel and like whatever. We went out and we like went hard. And then,
as you do, as you should sometimes,
right.
though.
And then we go back to like.
That's why you haven't murdered anyone,
right? Yeah,
because you've let it out. You
just
let
get it out of your
you
system.
know,
Yeah. And we got wasted, and then we like hotel sex.
Yeah.
I remembered like the first like 3 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's hotel sex.
And then blacked out because of how wasted I was. The next morning, I wake up. She is like smitten with me, like is like all over me.
You ate her ass.
No. I to this day don't know. Also, that's not I do that shit.
It was.
But she was like, last night was unbelievable. And I was like, yeah. And she could tell that I didn't remember. She was like, wait, you don't remember last night? And I was like, no. And she's like, okay. And I was like, what? To this day, she has not told me. And I was like, what, did we do like anal or something? She was like, no. I was like, okay. I had no clue.
Yeah.
She was like mad.
Were you on tequila?
Amongst other things, but yeah.
That's happened to me on tequila. That's why I don't do too much tequila. That's happened to me. Like, last night was amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, good. No, good. I mean, it was really amazing. And I'm like, I definitely did something different.
Yeah, what did I do different?
Yeah. You're like, give me the codes. LB, RB, A up, D pad down. What did I do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't remember, but I would like to redo it.
Yes.
Yes, that's happened to me. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't tell me nothing. It's like, what the fuck? At least it was good, though. At least you didn't, like, wake up being like, you disgust me.
That's the best, though. That's the... Here it is, right? You're already in the worst situation. It's already bad. You're blacked out. We're blacked out. It's bad. There are two ways it goes. I had the worst night of my life. How dare you? You did inappropriate things. I love you. Let's get married. You were amazing last night. I mean, out of those two outcomes, we're thriving.
Yeah.
We're thriving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
where are we
happening.
on time? Oh, yeah, we're like 53.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like, because now I'm thinking of all the bad nights I've had, where like my parents came home once and I'm like peeing in the kitchen sink. And there's like puke everywhere.
Oh, I puked. Kay was like that I was projectile vomiting. Like The Exorcist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my parents, how my when you go to my beach house, like I got the stairs going up and there's like, but they're the slats.
Yeah.
And they don't have the backs to them.
Yeah.
I came home one night, blacked out, and I threw up all over the stairs. And then my parents like caught me peeing in the kitchen sink. Well, first Sean caught me and he was like, Chris, stop. And I was like, leave me alone. I'm peeing. Like I was just like peeing in the sink. And then he was like, I have to get mom and dad. I don't know what to do. They get me, and I had thrown up all over the stairs. So it's like my parents are like screaming at me, you're going to clean this fucking shit up, like cleaning me up. There was more to the story, but like
Yeah.
they had to like bring me in the shower because I was like cacking out and shit. But they always talk about how there was all this puke on the stairs, and they were like, clean it up. And I just took a towel, was pushing it down onto the next floor. Just like puke. Like, I was like, it's clean. It's like pushing it down.
Kate told me that when I puked that I went to the sink to puke, she was like, here, puke in the trash can. I was like, no. And I went to the sink to puke, and I missed the whole sink.
Oh.
And then it was like on the side of the sink, and she was like, oh, you okay? She's like, you okay? She's like, I got it. Let me clean it. I got it. And I was like, I can do it myself.
Oh.
And I like started cleaning it by splashing water on it. Just like a puddle of like just making it like fall, but worse. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just like
it was water and vomit.
Now you're
just
diluting it.
Yeah.
Like diluting it.
I've got it. She was like, I kept giving her attitude. I was like, man, women are the worst.
Oh no, I've done that where you're like grump drunk.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, leave me alone. I'm doing it. But you're just being,
But she was like, she said that she felt that I thought I like, I don't remember, so she can only tell me. She thought that like I was embarrassed, so I was like, just leave me. I'll do it, because I wasn't grumpy the whole night. But like once I threw up, I was like, I'll do it. Like I got it.
Oh, okay. I think my problem when I'm in that state is I'm not embarrassed. I'm just like, I think I'm doing it. Like I got it.
Yeah.
Like I'm peeing in the sink. I'm pushing the puke down. Like, what are you talking about?
Nothing's going wrong.
This is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like that's like.
What made you pee in the sink?
I have no idea. I got a problem with that. This girl, Liz, I used to be friends with, she woke up to me peeing in her purse one night. At a house party, yeah. We weren't the best of friends to begin with, but she did not like me after that one. But fuck her. She took a shit in my backyard once at a house party, so. That she tried to deny.
You're like, we saw you.
Well, my friend Steph gave her the toilet paper.
Yeah.
And Steph kept it a secret, but I was like, fuck you. It's her turd.
Yeah. She took a shit in the backyard.
It was a pretty rowdy party, and it was not the bathroom that any woman would want to be taking a shit. I don't think anyone would want to take a shit in our bathroom that night, but definitely a woman would want to take a shit in that bathroom.
Yeah, but girl, you got to prep. Grab the bag. Grab the plastic bag, grab some toilet paper, and then head out.
She did it behind like a tree. It was just like a turd behind a tree.
Was she a dog? But I also love how you were like, I have this thing. And I was like, oh, he pees in sinks. And then you're like, I just pee in things I'm not supposed to pee in.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I think I'm like, there's a thing to aim in. I'm at a urinal. Like, I don't know. At no point. Like what was weird about peeing in her purse was that I don't remember walking up to the purse and starting to pee in it, but I remember coming to of Liz pushing me and screaming at me with my dick out while I'm like peeing in her purse.
You're like, wait, I'm not done.
Well, basically, I was like, well, I'm almost fucking done. Like, just leave me alone. I'm like 80% there. I feel it. Just let me.
It's already ruined. There's piss in it. Just let me. Don't be such a piss blocker. Fucking piss blocker. It feels good to piss when you're drunk too.
It feels so good.
Yeah. Oh god.
Should we wrap this shit up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Do you have a would you rather?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you rather wake up blacked out? Right. Wake up. You were blacked out and have no one tell you anything you did, or wake up from a blackout and people tell you all the wrong things you did.
But do you? I have one follow-up question. When you say you never find out, so if I black out and I do some shit, good or bad, if I see that person again, they're never going to say anything to me about it?
No one's going to say anything to you, but you can feel like something, whether it was good or bad. You did a couple of stuff. You never know what you did.
And then the other situation is...
You see people, you're blacked out, but you see people and they kind of like are like, a couple of people are like, yeah, and you did this. Oh, yeah, and you did this. And they're like, it's like bad.
But it's always bad.
Yeah.
It's never good.
Yeah.
So... All right. Yeah, I mean, all right.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Wake up in the black.
when it's bad.
Oh, tell me nothing. tell me nothing.
I just in the tell me nothing scenario, I feel like you would have no friends at some point. I mean, unless you just like don't drink as much or something. But at least I feel like with mine, it's just like, well, if I did something bad, at least I will know to apologize. Whereas in the other scenario, I feel like if no one's going to tell me, then I can't apologize to anybody for anything.
I feel like if it wasn't that bad, like the way I feel like that is ignorance is bliss. Like
right.
Like, all right, like fuck it, like gonna be that bad. Like,
and it might not always be bad either.
Yeah, that's the gamble you take.
Well, whatever. I'll do it. I was gonna say now that I'm thinking about it, it should have been you black out and it's always sick, but you never know about it. Or you black out and it's bad and you find out about it. That would fuck with me. Could you imagine you black out? Every time you black out, sick shit happens, but you never get to find out about it.
You never hear about it.
Never. Not one fucking thing. You never get to know.
Oh, I go for that one.
But imagine, wouldn't it drive you crazy? Wouldn't it drive you fucking nuts?
Not if it's like sick shit.
Imagine you black out all the fucking time and you're like walking down the street and people are like, Ashlynn! And you're like, for what? You don't even know.
Ignorance is bliss. I love ignorance. I love ignorance is bliss.
That is wild.
I am wild. All right, guys. We love you.
We love you. Goodbye, you little wild follicles.
Yeah, you little wild, filthy follicles.